Last year I bought myself an iPad, merely to study in a fancy way, maybe to jot down notes digitally and to be like the school person whom everyone knew that he has an iPad. But I didn't know that it will bring such a drastic change in my life and in my preparation. So recently I've cracked a UGC NET PhD criteria. So the notes that I made on this iPad really helped me a lot to be organized, to be digitally very organized. There are a few apps that I really want to talk about that I really use on this iPad. And is it worth buying an iPad in 2025 or for a student, or if it's just a fancy way of wasting of money? I used to make notes earlier, but I was very tired of and exhausted of organizing all of my notes into a place. I was fascinated by the idea of iPad. I used to watch a lot of medical students who used to jot down notes on iPad, but I didn't know that it was very necessary for me at that point of time, because I'm a management student. I had done my MBA from Himachal, so I was very excited to buy this iPad, but I ended up getting this iPad Pro 11-inch model, which for a lot of people is not necessary because this is a power machine and it is very capable of doing a lot of heavy works that a lot of ordinary laptops cannot do. So I bought this iPad in 2024 and I started to make notes. I bought this app, subscription-based app called Notability, and it changed how I took notes for entire of my life. Notability comes with a lot of features inbuilt, but I used the subscription version. It made my note-taking journey very interesting and immersive. I was really able to jot down notes very thoroughly and very precisely. I was able to remember a lot of things which was not possible before. You can call it a placebo effect of buying a new thing, and after that I was remembering a lot of things. But the way I made notes, it was very organized. I had all of my subjects in a folder, and then there was this subcategory where I could write each topic, and after that I could write notes about it, about the entire chapter or the subject. But this isn't about only Notability. There are all the other functions that I use on this iPad, be it its speaker. It has some of the best speakers on a tablet out there. It's a very nice speaker I use. I listen to music a lot. I consume music a lot, and this has been my go-to device to listen. I can watch series, movies, anything on this device, and makes a very immersive experience for the user. The default note-taking app is also very impressive. I do journaling a lot, so that note application and the default journal application really helps me to jot down my thoughts and what I'm thinking about of the whole day. I know not a lot of people do journaling, but it's a nice thing to do. I'm a huge Barca fan, and to watch late night matches on this iPad while laying down on the bed has been such an amazing experience for me. I have watched FIFA Club World Cup, all of the La Liga matches, Champions League matches on this iPad. The battery life on this device is very impressive, and it gets your work done throughout the day. You can use it without getting tired. Plus the 120 FPS screen that it has, it's very impressive and it's very fast too. Plus it has the M2 processor in it, which makes the experience very seamless. I would want to talk about the Apple Pencil, which you don't get by default, you have to purchase it. But this has been a very nice purchase, because the pencil experience on writing on this iPad has been very nice. It feels like I'm writing on a paper itself, and the default note-taking application plus this Apple Pencil is a very nice experience to write on. But the question arises, is this necessary for an average person who's going to university, who's doing his PhD or research or anything above graduation? The answer is it's very subjective. For me personally, this has been a very helpful tool to crack my UGC NET exam, or to make my life very organized, or for me to watch anything on it has been a nice experience. But it's nothing like other things can't do. You can really go for very cheap alternatives like iPad generation 9, 10. It will give you the same experience. Plus you can also write notes by hand. for the people who can do it, it's very nice. It's still the traditional way, still is winning out there. A lot of people make notes that way, but it's for the people who really want their notes to be organized, and they want a very, very organized life. I associate myself uh, and the iPad with a very organized life. That is why I bought this iPad for myself. The experience of taking notes on this while watching a lecture on YouTube plus general Safari browsing has been very impressive again because of the UI, maybe the iOS version that it has. Now that I've updated it on iOS 26, but every iOS version has been amazing. And the default browser that is Safari, it has been very nice for me to jot down information from the web directly to my notes. Pathways. I'm still in the process of preparing for my JREP for scholarship and PhD, and for that I am using now this free software called FreeNotes. FreeNotes is the best free version software out there you can get. I was making my research proposal of PhD in it, and it has been a very seamless experience till now. The FreeNote application is a free software out there for which you don't need to pay any subscription, and it's the best. So I'm going to use it now, and I'm going to shoot from Notability because it's expensive now. The video editing and all of my other creative stuff also I do it on my iPad only, and it gives me a very seamless experience because of the M2 chip it has. Very, very nice experience. I have no lag whatsoever. I also record me playing guitar on this app on this tablet only, and the camera quality is very, very nice, and the microphone that it has, it's very beautiful. And the question still arises, is it necessary for you in today's time? My answer would be no, because traditional ways are still out there. You can really write down notes, which for a lot of people gives them this experience of that their notes are personal to them, and they still find it very, very comfortable writing their own notes, for which I don't think a person should invest only for noting down their notes. But for other experiences like noting down notes, doing your PhD research, or preparing for a competitive exam while surfing Safari, having all of your notes in one place, iCloud has really helped me a lot. For that purpose, maybe it's a very nice deal. And for me, it's working very nice. And I don't find any issue with it, be it with the battery life, be it the Apple ecosystem experience. It's very nice. A couple of downsides that I want to point out about this iPad or iPad in general is that the cross-platform connectivity is not there. Back then, I used to use Intel Unison for my data transfer to my laptop, but I don't know, for some reason Intel has stopped its production. I don't know what, but we can't use that app now. It's quite on the expensive side. If you go and try to buy an iPad, for that you may have a lot of cheaper versions of Android tablets out there in the market, which you can really buy, which are cheap and in some of the cases better than this. They give you 120 FPS at very, very reasonable prices, the Android tablets out there. So it's not necessary that if you want to buy a tablet, you just have to go for an iPad. But the third downside or the con I would say this: the Apple Pencil it's quite on the expensive side, and for this you can have a lot of alternatives which you can go for, a lot of cheaper versions of it, which works fairly well. And another last con for people who are pursuing their research or PhD, you can't get a lot of free softwares for research in this. You have to pay for Microsoft Office, Word, presentation, everything you have to pay for it. So it's not like you can download it from third-party sources. You can do it handheld. Those are some of the cons that I've found out while using this iPad. In and all, I want to conclude by saying this video that this iPad is not for everyone, but for the people who really want to buy it. Note on your needs. Why do you really want it? People who are into medical field, research field, or pursuing some competitive exams, who wants their notes to be with them at all times. And if you're a casual user who was going to university, school, college and all, I don't think this specific model of iPad or specific iPad is for you. I guess you can go for cheaper versions of Android tablet or a very cheaper version of iPad in general, and it gives the same experience like this one does or any other tablet would. Because I don't think it is very necessary going in school or graduation that you would need a iPad to take down notes. You can use a cheaper tablet version, or you can write it by your hands.